Now, when you think about like America back in the 50s, 60s, 70s, when we were so productive, what were we doing during that time that's different than now?
Well, I think a couple things have happened in society. The first thing is like human beings used to expect hardship, misery, pain, and suffering every day.
Yes.
When I became a citizen in 2011, I read about all the founding fathers, and George Washington um, was striking. One of the things that I remember is he apparently first, you heard about his teeth and all that, but apparently he had like a tumor in his leg, and he sat down in a chair, and a doctor cut it out, and he didn't make a sound. Most of us, if we like cut our finger now, are like, "Oh my god," it's the worst
Oh
thing
yeah.
ever. So I think the general, what I call, for lack of a better word, entitlement or view that we should be happy and life should be easy has been a sort of mounting change that's even now more than ever. So I think with
Hmm.
the comforts, we I think it's called the homeostatic uh basically like what I humans adjust to whatever. What I found is, everyone I know, if they're like, hey, if you have 50 bucks, they're like, if I just had $100, all that I could do. Then they get the $100. They're like, if I just had $1,000, then they get the thousand. They're like, well, if I just had, so we adjust all the time to our circumstances. And I think people generally, particularly in the age of the internet and so on, things have changed. But look, we're now, even when I was a kid, you didn't have a phone. My kids expect to be kind of kept busy all day. When I was a kid, it was like school ended. You'd like get on your bike and try to figure out something to do. And
Oh, I was saying that to Sarah now. Like, I rarely have a moment where I don't have at least headphones in my head because I don't want to be bored for a second. I can't be bored for it. What if I'm outside walking the dogs? I'm bored.
yeah, exactly. So I think like we generally think we're entitled to be happy and comfortable. And one of my big practices every day is to remind myself, and I do a whole bunch of things every morning and every day, but most of the history of humans and of other animals like is trying to survive every second of the day. Happiness was a luxury. If you're a wild animal that hasn't been killed by humans, like you don't wake up and go to the grocery store, you're like a moment of peace
Yep.
is celebrated
Yep.
because you didn't get them. Whereas now we're used to like comforts. The other thing I think is like, look, I used to be able to read books. I was a maniacal reader for an enormous amount of time. Now, when I want information, I just use the internet and I find books like slow and drudging and hard. And so I think we're just all used to like a lot of comfort. I mean, I can't imagine if I kind of like to read a bit about the Industrial Revolution and how things were in like the 1890s and so on. But if you threw me back there, I'm sure I'd go nuts.